Hello class, and welcome to this video for exercise number 27 of learning Microsoft Publisher. You need to begin the exercise by opening up the Publisher or Pub27 data file that you downloaded from Plus Portals, and we're going to save it under the new name for this exercise of 27 Gardens. So for some of you, this may bring back memories of picking weeds for your parents because your mom loved to have a garden and planted tons of plants and then had her children pick the weeds for them and also pick the plants. So if you have memories like that, then I connect with you because that's what I had growing up. All right, now the things we need to change here, you can see we have spring planting sale here in the middle, and it's very small. And so we're going to change it here to 48 size font, 48 point size font. So one of the first things we're going to do here, 48, as you can see. Then the next thing we're going to do in the text box with the green text. So right here, this text box, it says apply the following attributes to the text. So I'm going to select all of it. I click inside the box, hold down Control and press A. It selected all of it. I'm going to go up here for changing things. First thing it says, it needs to be left aligned as opposed to centered. So let's change that left aligned. So now it's looking like this. So left aligned is what you chose. And then 14 points in size. Currently it's 10. Let's crank that up here a little bit so that way now it's 14 point font. Bright blue. So bright blue is what we need to change it to. And it's referring to our placeholder color. So bright blue. So we can go with, let's see here, let's go with more of the, it's a little too dark. Right here, we'll go with this one, right? Hyperlink blue. So that third one down here, just like that. Okay, not bold or italic. So let's get rid of bold. And it's good there. And then it says spacing between lines and paragraphs, 1.25 spacing. So the spacing between lines and paragraphs, 1.25 spacing. So let's change the line spacing options here between lines in the paragraphs. We have it currently at this, so 1. Let's change it to 1.25 SP. So 1.25 SP. I clicked here on this button right here, and then of course I went down to line spacing options, and that's how I was able to change it. So those were the different changes you needed to make to this text box. Then it says delete the empty text box below the one from step number 4. So the one that it's talking about right down here, this text box, as you can see there, is the one we need to get rid of. So I click on it, click on the border of it, and push the delete button, and now it's gone. It says swap the positions of the text box, of this text box right here, that contains the two with, this text box with this one right here. So we need to swap the placing of those two. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. And it says enlarge the text boxes as needed so all the text is visible. And it's okay if the round black attention getter overlaps the text box, the text will wrap around it. So you can see this right here, the attention getter, the black one. So I'm going to move those around here, and I'll show you kind of how I want you to line them up. So I'm actually going to move this one down here. Then I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to line it up actually so that it's about pretty much, let's move it over a little bit more here. About right there will work just fine. So that one should end up there, and then I'm going to put this one about, I'm going to move it here. It's going to be easier for me to move with the arrow keys. Put about right here for right now. So this is how it should look for your movements here for the document. Then it says change the font size of the bulleted list to 12-point font. So I'm going to select all the text here, and then I'm going to go up here, change it to 12-point font so it's bigger, easier to see. And then let's go and make this a little bit bigger to make the text show up correctly. So I stretched it out a bit. All right, next thing we're going to do, change the bolt character to a symbol that looks like a flower, any style from any font set. If needed, adjust the indent or bullet placement for attractiveness. So I'm going to click in here, select all the text. I'm going to click on the bullet points button, and then I'm going to do bullets and numbering, and I'm going to choose a different one. So change character, and I'm going to go with here, it says any symbol that looks like a flower. So let me see if I can find anything here. So you can go through and pick anything you really want here. It says any style, any font. You can look for it here. So I'm going to go with here, for the sake of this one, I'm going to go with, I'll go with the little asterisk right here. I want you to pick something different, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to go searching through all of them. So asterisk, and then it says change the size of it and of course the placement of it to make it easier for you to see it. So I'm going to go ahead with change this to 35, so that makes it look more like a flower. I'll click OK. We can see that this has adjusted the size of it. So let's stretch this up a little bit bigger here. And then let's see, I'm going to kind of try to get rid of some of the spacing to make it a little bit better here. Let's crank it down to, let's say 20, just because it's so big there. Yeah, there we go. And then of course we have our two parts of the list. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you can play around with it. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing as mine. The asterisk did kind of work actually. So I'm going to leave it there like that. Alright, it says expand the bullet point list text box so that way it continues to fit in 2 equal length columns. So you notice I had to kind of switch the size of it so that way it ended up like this as opposed to with more on one side. Then in the 3 text boxes at the bottom of the flyer, increase the text by 3 points. So for example, the 11 point becomes 14, 8 point text becomes 11. So 3 right here, we'll increase it by 3 points. So this is going to be 14. This one here is going to be, of course, 11. And this one right here is going to be, if I can select it all, I'll do Control A, 11. Alright, there we go. I changed my sizes of these here. So when you finish, it should look pretty much just like how it is looking here on our screen. So save it. You do need to print this one. So Microsoft Print a PDF is what you're going to choose. And of course our name is going to be 27 Garden _ your initials. So you have a PDF file of this one, and you also have a publisher file for this. And that is how you complete exercise number 27 of learning Microsoft Publisher.